Chapter 61, Enemies Meet on a Narrow Road. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I do. Tang San replied. Why did Tang San sneak into Xiantian Palace and secretly practice Tang Sec's unique skills in his previous life? In addition to Tang San's desire to carry forward the Tang sect, he also wanted to prove himself and realize his own value. In Tang San's heart, to put it bluntly, he was unwilling to lag behind others. At present, Mu Chen, as a peer, is so powerful. In Tang San's view, if he can't even absorb this spirit ring, then he will never catch up with Mu Chen in his life. In addition, Tang San has been practicing diligently since he was sensible. And under the guidance of Tang Hao, he often does some rough work. The strength of his body is no longer comparable to that of ordinary people. Although the spirit ring of the human-faced demon spider in front of him is more than 2,000 years old, it exceeds the limit of the spirit master to absorb the third spirit ring. Tang San still has the confidence that he can absorb it. There is a saying that opportunities and dangers coexist, and wealth and honor are sought in danger. Tang San also wants to give it a try. The 10-year spirit ring can increase the spirit master's attribute points by 10 points, and 100 years is 100 points. If Tang San absorbs the soul ring of this soul beast that is more than 2,000 years old, he can increase his attribute points by 2,000 points. By then, even if Tang San cannot compare with Mukin, he has already won at the starting line compared with other soul masters. Okay, then go absorb its soul ring, and then we will leave here. Mukin said lightly. No. No. My human-faced demon spider. Not just as Tang San walked to the side of the human-faced demon spider, a familiar voice came from afar. Her again. What was she saying just now? It can't be such a coincidence. That everyone looked in the direction of the voice, and saw two old men and one young man walking towards this side. The old man and the young man were old acquaintances, Shipo and Mengyiran. You again. Mengyiran frowned and pointed at Mukin. Shipo looked at everyone in front of her and whispered to the old man beside her. Long Gong nodded, stepped forward and said, Are you Zhao Wuji? Yes. Zhao Wuji nodded. Do you know that the human-faced demon spider is much more precious than the phoenix-tailed coxcomb snake? We have been chasing this demon spider for a whole day. If it weren't for its annoying spider web, it would have become our soul ring long ago. Long Gong said. We all know what you said, but this demon spider suddenly appeared in front of my brother and me. Are we going to sit there and wait for it to kill us? Xiao Wu asked first without waiting for Zhao Wuji to answer. You mean, it was you and your brother who killed this human-faced demon spider? Long Gong said in surprise. No, not two people, but one person. Xiao Wu said. One person. You. Long Gong looked at Xiao Wu questioningly. In his opinion, Xiao Wu could not kill the demon spider in front of him alone. No, not me, but my brother. My brother chopped it and seriously injured it with one move. Xiao Wu replied. Who is your brother? Long Gong asked. He is my brother, his name is Mukin. Xiao Wu walked to Mukin's side. You are the Mukin who defeated me, Iran, without using his spirit. Long Gong looked Mukin up and down. Yes. Mukin nodded. You should know that if it hadn't spit out 3 webs before, you wouldn't have killed it so easily. Long Gong said. Senior, you are wrong. Even if it hadn't spit out 3 webs before, I could have beaten it like this. Senior, do you have anything else to say? Mukin asked. Grandpa, you have to make the decision for me. He. Mengyiran touched his buttocks, which were still burning after a day. Mengyiran still couldn't say the words Chrysanthemum. Iran, don't worry. Long Gong comforted Mengyiran, and then looked at Mu Chen and said, Long Gong Meng Shu, have been in the Soul Master world for many years, and I am not an unreasonable person. When facing the human-faced demon spider, everyone must protect themselves. So it is understandable that you killed it. However, you have twice destroyed my granddaughter's soul ring, and you can't just let it go. Mu Chen, I will give you two choices. The first choice is that you join our family. No. Mu Chen refused, I don't like being bound. According to the rules of the Soul Master world, anyone who joins the family must not betray for the rest of his life. That's the second choice, give up the human-faced demon spider, and I will pretend that nothing happened. In addition, leave your finger, Long Gong said again. Are you sure? Old senior, for the sake of your granddaughter, come here and I will tell you something. After listening, you can decide whether to snatch the human-faced demon spider. Mu Chen walked to the side, Long Gong followed his words, and didn't worry about the young people in front of him making any trouble, and walked with Mu Chen again. What? Mr. Long looked at Mukin in surprise, and then at Tang San in surprise. Mr. Long returned to the team and asked, Senior, do you want to confirm it? Forget it, forget it. For someone's sake, let's just forget about today's matter. Let's go. Mr. Long compromised. He couldn't afford to offend Douluo. Grandpa, he stole my spirit ring twice, so today's matter is just going to be forgotten. Meng Yiran said unwillingly. What do you want? You lost to him last time. Grandpa is so old, he can't really bully the weak. Mr. Long was very anxious. He thought to himself, dear granddaughter, that's a title Douluo, a man who dares to beat even the Pope. Let Grandpa live a few more years. Okay, since Grandpa is unwilling to stand up for Iran, I'll do it myself. Mu Chen, if you are a man, you can compete with me again. Meng Yiran looked at Long Gong sadly, and then looked at Mu Chen sharply. Still competing? Are you addicted? Mu Chen asked with a smile, Meng Yiran. Addicted? Addicted to what? Millennium Kill? Bao Chrysanthemum? Meng Yiran was confused and stamped his feet in anger. Mu Chen's words were not very lethal, but very insulting. Meng Yiran bit her red lips lightly and said, this time we will compete with something else. If you lose, you have to give up the human-faced demon spider. If I win, the human-faced demon spider is mine. Okay. Mu Chen replied. You dare to accept the invitation before you even hear how I bet. Meng Yiran said in surprise. Why not? Anyway, you will lose no matter what you compete with. Mu Chen shrugged indifferently. You. Meng Yiran was angry and called out 3 words you in a row, why not? You will lose no matter what you compete with. This statement is not very lethal, but it is very insulting. Wait. Xiao Wu shouted anxiously. What's wrong? Meng Yiran asked. This is unfair, the bet is very unfair. The human-faced demon spider was seriously injured by us. If Brother Mukin wins, do you have to pay a price? Xiao Wu asked. What do you want? Meng Yiran asked. If you lose, then kiss Brother Mukin. Xiao Wu said. What? Meng Yiran's eyes widened. If she lost, she would lose her first kiss. Chapter 62. A reward that comes to your door. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Not only Meng Yiran, but also others looked at Xiao Wu in surprise. Xiao Wu and Mukin obviously liked each other, but Xiao Wu actually asked Meng Yiran to kiss Mu Chen after losing. Damn it, is Xiao Wu helping Mu Chen chase women? How about it, don't you dare? Xiao Wu asked. Xiao Wu knew that Mu Chen once said that Meng Yiran's appearance was okay. In Xiao Wu's opinion, Mu Chen should have fallen in love with Meng Yiran. Meng Yiran is very talented, good-looking, and his identity is not simple. Xiao Wu wouldn't mind if they became sisters. Okay, that's it. Duke Long replied first. Grandpa. Meng Yiran looked at Duke Long in surprise. Young people must be a little passionate. Okay, let's get started. Duke Long glanced at Mu Chen meaningfully. Old man, what are you planning on doing? Snake Woman muttered in Mr. Long's ear in confusion, her eyes falling on Mukin. Could it be that her old man wanted Mu Chen to be his grandson-in-law? Tell me, how do you compare? Mu Chen asked. As for Meng Yiran, Mukin still has a D-level mission. Meng Yiran raised the corner of his mouth confidently, and with a thought, he took out 32 soul-breaking knives from the storage soul guide and said, I have 32 soul-breaking knives here, 16 for you and me. Wait. Later, I asked my grandfather to shake a big tree 20 meters away. There will be leaves falling. You and I will take action at the same time and swing the soul-breaking knife. No matter how many leaves are stabbed, the soul-breaking knife will win. It has to stay on the tree pole, otherwise it doesn't count. Boss Mu, how about I do it? Tang San asked confidently after hearing this. From Tang San's point of view, if he and Meng Yiran competed, Meng Yiran would definitely lose with no pants left. Moreover, Meng Yiran said this with such confidence, he must have practiced for a long time. Deliberately taking this opportunity to embarrass and defeat Mu Chen, when they were at the Junior Soul Master Academy in Nodding City, Tang San and Mukin lived in the same dormitory. Tang San knew that Mu Chen had never practiced hidden weapons. If he competes with Meng Yiran, the probability of losing is very high. That's why he asked him to fight. No need. Mu Chen raised his hand and rejected Tang San's kindness. Boss Mu, this is about my third spirit ring. Tang San reminded, his words clearly showed that he had no confidence in Mu Chen. Don't worry, your soul ring can't escape. Mu Chen said calmly. You just went through a battle. Do you want to take a rest so that you don't have to accuse me of bullying you later? Meng Yiran asked. No need, bring the soul-breaking knife, we can start. Mu Chen stretched out his hand and took the 16 soul-breaking knives from the opponent's hand. Old man, you may have made a miscalculation. Snake Lady pointed out. She knew what her granddaughter Meng Yiran was capable of. If Mu Chen competes with his granddaughter, he will definitely lose. I don't think so. This kid is full of confidence and seems to have a solid chance of winning. Okay, are you two ready? Duke Long asked. Meng Yiran and Mukin nodded at the same time. Boom, when Duke Long saw this, he threw the scepter in his hand to the ground. A shock wave spread around. A big tree 20 meters away was shaking, and countless leaves fell from the sky. Call out, Meng still took action. The 16 soul-breaking knives in his hands were used one after another. Each soul-breaking knife hit a leaf and all fell on a tree stem. Snort. Meng Yiran smiled confidently and looked at Mukin. He urged sarcastically, you still won't take action. No, I've already taken action. Mu Chen said with a smile. What? Meng was still stunned. There was someone who had a faster throwing speed than her. Amazing skills. Incredible skills. Incredible skills. Duke Long exclaimed. Boss Mu, his hidden weapon skills are so terrifying. Dai Mubai looked stunned. In terms of hidden weapons, he is the only one who can compete with me. Tang San commented. Iran, you lost. Long Gong said. What? Meng Yiran said. Look there. Duke Long pointed at a big tree. This is impossible. Meng Yiran looked at the big tree. His eyes widened. On the big tree pole in front of Meng Yiran, 16 soul-breaking knives formed a sky character. 18 leaves are stuck on each soul-breaking knife. If it weren't for the soul-breaking knife that couldn't insert more leaves, there would definitely be more leaves inserted in the end. This. Meng Yiran still looked at the scene in front of him in disbelief. Mu Chen's technique, even I can't do it. 16 soul-breaking knives were shot one after another, and they were able to change directions in the air. Each one was inserted with 18 leaves, and Mu Chen had his back to the big tree. He didn't even look at it with his eyes. All 16 soul-breaking knives were shot in just 1 second. This kind of skill can only be described as miraculous. Duke Long praised. Damn it. Meng still squatted on the ground. After being quiet for a while, he said, can you let me read it again? Mengyiran was very eager to learn and looked at Mu Chen with a pleading look. There was no longer the arrogance in his eyes. Can. Mu Chen stretched out his hand, and his palm suddenly shrank, and a suction force was born in his palm. 16 soul-breaking knives separated from the big tree pole and flew into Mu Chen's hands. Senior, I need you to shake the tree one more time. Mu Chen said with a smile. Okay. Duke Long nodded. Boom, the scepter in Lord Long's hand hit the ground with a loud sound, and a shock wave spread out in the surroundings. The big tree 20 meters away trembled slightly again, swoosh. Mu Chen tiptoed and flew into the air, and the color of his pupils turned red, clang 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 clang. Then Mu Chen's soul-breaking sword was swung continuously. The sound of metal and stone intersecting was heard in the air. An incredible scene appeared. The soul-breaking sword that had just passed through the leaves was still flying in the air, but was hit by another wind-breaking sword, changing its original flying direction and continuing to pass through the leaves. Dong, with a slight sound, all the wind-breaking swords hit the trunk of the big tree, forming the word. Mengyiran was speechless, staring at the scene in front of him with a dull look. As a soul master who practices the technique of launching hidden weapons, Mengyiran knows how difficult Mukin's action just now was. The hidden weapon was flying in the air, and under the attack of other hidden weapons, it could also change the direction of flight. This can only be described as a magical skill. I lost. Mengyiran said. Ding dong. Congratulations, you have completed the D-level mission, competed with Mengyiran again, and saved the spirit ring for Tang San. Reward spirit power, 40,000 points, reward skill points, 2 points, reward items, 30 smoke bombs, reward items, a 30,000-year spirit ring. Smoke bomb, from the Three Kingdoms War Chronicle. After throwing, it can emit smoke, which can make enemies who touch the smoke dizzy and temporarily lose the ability to move. Chapter 63, Accepting Defeat and Giving a Shy Kiss. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The system has detected that the host has a tenfold multiplication card. Do you want to use the tenfold multiplication card to increase the reward tenfold? The system asked. Use it. Mukin did not refuse this time. Ding dong. Congratulations, use the tenfold multiplication card, and the reward for this mission will be increased tenfold. Finally, you will get soul power, 400,000 points, skill points, 20 points, items, 300 smoke bombs, and items, 10 30,000-year soul rings. 10 30,000-year soul rings. Mukin was secretly surprised. Ding dong. Since the host only needs 1 soul ring, the remaining 9 soul rings have been converted into inner pills by the system. Inner pills. Mukin was secretly surprised. In the system's package space, there were indeed 9 golden inner pills. System, can these 9 golden inner pills be absorbed by soul masters like the inner pills of the 10-headed scorching sun snake, allowing soul masters to obtain soul rings? Mukin asked. Yes. But they are different from the inner core of the 10-headed sun snake. These inner cores come from the system. The products of the system must be top quality. The effect of each inner core is equivalent to the God-given soul ring. The additional attributes will be the most suitable for soul masters. In addition, the lifespan is fixed at 30,000 years. The system responded. Ding dong. Congratulations, soul power is fully accumulated and upgraded, and it has been upgraded by 2 levels. Current level, level 45, 15,000/190000. Ha! Cool! Using the tenfold multiplication card, Mukin's soul power exploded tenfold, and finally upgraded by 2 small levels. Mukin couldn't help but sighed happily in his heart. It is worthy of being the strongest chaos system in the world. I am the best at picking up girls. I am the best at exploding divine objects. I am also the best at upgrading. This is the strongest. On the other side, Tang San fell into deep thought, thinking to himself, Boss Mu is still Boss Mu, this hidden weapon firing technique is really amazing. However, I am confident that I can fight with him. This method of launching is similar to the Batwing reincarnation of the Tang sect, Batwing reincarnation, a method of launching that can reincarnate in the air and change the flight direction of the hidden weapon that has been launched. It just has a disadvantage that the maximum number of hidden weapons that can be sent at the same time is 36. Miss Meng, Mu Chen stretched out his hand towards the tree trunk, and a suction force was born in his palm. The soul-breaking knife inserted in the tree trunk flew back to the palm of Mukun. Immediately, he handed the soul-breaking knife to Meng Yiran. "Why, do you want to make fun of me? If you want to make fun of me, just laugh." Meng Yiran said. At a young age, Meng Yiran has achieved what his grandfather, Long Gong Meng Shu, did not have at her age. In Meng Yiran's heart, he always thought that he was the best soul master among his peers. Yesterday, today, Meng Yiran was defeated by Mukun one after another, and even the most proud soul-breaking knife was defeated by Mukun. And he was defeated miserably. This made the previous pride in Meng Yiran's eyes disappear. Without the pride, Meng Yiran squatted on the ground, looking more beautiful. "You misunderstood. There are differences in learning and specialization. There is no point in making fun of people," Mukun said lightly. "It's rare. At such a young age, you have such knowledge and vision. Zhao Wuji, your Shrek Academy has accepted a good student." Long Gong stroked his goatee and praised Mukun. As for Zhao Wuji, he grinned, not to mention how happy he was. "If you want to become stronger, it depends on whether you have a heart to learn," Mukun said again. "What do you mean by this? Are you willing to teach me the technique just now?" Meng Yiran was very smart and understood it at once. "It depends on whether you are willing to learn," Mukun said with a smile. "I am willing. But I can't worship you as my teacher because I already have a teacher," Meng Yiran said. "If you want to learn from me, you don't have to worship me as your master. I teach people without discrimination. And, please forgive me for being frank, you have a good talent, but you are not yet at the point of worshipping me as your master," Mukun said lightly. Meng Yiran rolled her eyes at Mukun, and a hint of displeasure and ridicule flashed in her eyes. Although she was not Mukun's opponent, she was at least a rare genius in the family for 100 years. Mukun said that even she was not qualified to be Mukun's apprentice. This statement was too arrogant. Meng Yiran paused, but didn't care. She was very interested in Mukun's previous technique. Weapons used in secret are hidden weapons. Just like your soul-breaking sword, the lethality is limited when used in the open, but if used in the dark, it will greatly increase the threat of the soul-breaking sword, Mukun said. "Weapons used in secret?" Meng Yiran repeated in a low voice. "If you want to launch a hidden weapon, you can't rely on your eyes. Hidden weapons can only reflect their value when they are launched in the dark. You are a soul master, and your martial soul is a snake spear and a staff, which is as sensitive as a snake. You can completely rely on the subtle flow of air, without using your eyes, to sense the 360-degree all-round area of your body. This technique is called listening to the sound and determining the position. In this way, when you launch a hidden weapon, there will be no blind spots. As for changing the direction of the hidden weapon in flight, you only need to practice for a long time to reach the level I just reached." Mukun gave detailed instructions. "Change the direction of flight. Go around obstacles and attack the target behind the obstacles." Meng Yiran listened to Mukun's instructions with a learned attitude. "I see you have a special liking for hidden weapons, so I'll give this to you." Mu Chen flicked his finger and took out a sleeve arrow from the storage soul guide. "Sleeve arrow?" Tang San was stunned. "Isn't this the golden finger that only he has, the Tang sect's hidden weapon, sleeve arrow? What is this?" Meng Yiran asked. "This is called a sleeve arrow. It can be hidden in the sleeve and suddenly fired during battle, making it impossible for the enemy to defend against it," Mu Chen replied. "Sleeve arrow? You want to give it to me?" Meng Yiran was stunned. "Well, I made you lose the opportunity to obtain spirit rings twice in a row. In this huge Star Do Great Forest, I didn't meet anyone else, but I met you twice. It can only be said to be fate. This sleeve arrow is to express my apology to you in my heart. Mu Chen said with a smile. I won't say thank you to you. Meng Yiran took the sleeve arrow from Mu Chen's hand with a heartbeat. Then, her face turned red, and her red lips moved towards Mu Chen's cheek. Ding dong. Congratulations, you got a shy kiss from Meng Yiran, and got 40,000 soul power points. Mu Chen felt his cheeks moist, and his pupils were brightened. At the same time, a stream of energy flowed into his dantian. All of a sudden, he got 40,000 soul power points. Wow! 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 The joyful scene in front of them made the single Ma Hongjun, Oscar, Dai Mubai and Tang San feel extremely envious. They all wanted to replace Mu Chen and enjoy Meng Yiran's tenderness. Chapter 64 Shrek's Ninth Monster. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Meng Yiran was so excited that his ears turned red. Her grandparents were watching at the scene. I am willing to admit defeat. This is to repay your bet. Don't have any other ideas. I, Meng Yiran, am not a person who cannot afford to lose. Things between us will not be settled like this. One day, I will defeat you openly. Meng Yiran said shyly, touching her buttocks with one hand. Meng Yiran remembered very clearly that Mu Chen had beaten her ass with a gangster-like style of killing for 1,000 years. After Meng Yiran said this, he could no longer stay here. The man had run into the bushes on one side, Dragon Duke Meng Shu and Snake Lady Chao Tianxiang followed one after another. Seniors, please stay. Mu Chen suddenly said. Dragon Duke Meng Shu and Snake Lady Chao Tianxiang all turned to look at Mukin. Senior, I don't know about the invitation from the junior before. What are you thinking about it? Mu Chen asked. Invite? What invitation? While fighting for the crested snake, Mu Chenka proposed that Meng Yiran enter Shrek Academy. Together with the Shrek 8 monsters, they will participate in the continent-wide Elite Soul Master competition in a few years. It's a very important matter, I need to think about it. This matter needs to be discussed with Iran Alien Beast Academy. Duke Long replied. Okay, then I will wait for the good news from Senior. If Senior can give me an answer within 3 months, I will give Meng Yiran a generous gift then. Mu Chen said. A generous gift? What kind of gift? Duke Long asked curiously. As a well-known Soul Master in the Soul Master world, Duke Long did not mock Mu Chen when he was old. Instead, he looked forward to what kind of gift Mu Chen would give his granddaughter. Mukin's sleeve arrows were something Duke Long had never heard of or seen. Since it can be called a generous gift by Mu Chen, it must be a great thing. Senior, you will know then. Remember, there are only 3 months. Mu Chen said with a smile. Okay. Little brother, Zhao Wuji, let's say goodbye. See you later. Duke Long nodded. See you later. You'll have time to regret it. Zhao Wuji and Mukin both clasped their fists at Duke Long in return. When Mr. Long and Snake Woman walked away, Xiao Wu came up and asked, Brother, why didn't I know you had a sleeve arrow? What is a sleeve arrow? A hidden weapon that can attack opponents silently and unexpectedly. Mu Chen thought and pointed his arms in one direction. Call out. There was a sound of breaking wind, and a sharp object flew out of Mukin's sleeve and hit a big tree 10 meters away. Wow! The Shrek 7 monsters and Zhao Wuji all looked at Mu Chen in surprise. How is it? Do you like it? Mu Chen asked Xiao Wu. I like it. Xiao Wu nodded. Here you go. Mu Chen flicked his fingers, took out a sleeve arrow from the storage soul guide, and handed it to Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu was not polite and took the sleeve arrow from Mu Chen's hand. Boss Mu, do you still have this thing? Oscar asked excitedly. Boss Mu, if it's a matter of money, I'm willing to spend money to buy it in large quantities. Ning Rongrong thought that if the 7 Treasures Glazed sect had such a hidden weapon, it would definitely be able to raise its strength to a higher level. I am willing too. Dai Mubai, the third prince of the Star Luo Empire, also expressed his stance quickly. Boss Mu, do you need a man? I can warm your bed. Ma Hongjun, who had no background, came to Mu Chen's side, moved his eyes, and winked at Mu Chen. Damn fat man, go ahead, I'm not as good as Long Yang. Mu Chen pushed Ma Hongjun away. Immediately, he touched the ring storage soul guide, took out all the remaining 8 sleeve arrows with a flick of his finger, and said, talk about money hurts feelings, we are all brothers and sisters, everyone has a share, each one has one. Mu Chen flicked his fingers, and the 7 sleeve arrows were ejected very accurately in front of Ma Hongjun, Dai Mubai, Oscar, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, Tang San and Zhao Wuji. Although he was familiar with Douluo's storyline, Mu Chen knew that Tang San now had a sleeve arrow. But this was still a secret to Tang San. Therefore, Mu Chen still gave Tang San a sleeve arrow. As for the latter, he actually accepted it. From Tang San's point of view, he wanted to study whether Mu Chen's sleeve arrows were the same as his. Tang San needs to do research to see if Mu Chen, like Tang San, is also a disciple of the Tang sect, so he has all kinds of hidden weapons of the Tang sect. Xiao San, absorb the soul ring. Mu Chen ordered. Yes, Boss Mu. Tang San nodded. The next scene is just like in the storyline. Tang San, who had surpassed his limit and absorbed a spirit ring for more than 2,000 years, finally obtained his 3rd spirit ring after suffering great pain. Moreover, Tang San obtained an attached soul bone, the 8 spider spear. 8 spider spears? Isn't this the attached soul bone of Boss Mu? Ma Hongjun said with a stunned expression. Yes, 2 of our Shrek 8 monsters have already obtained external soul bones. Zhao Wuji patted Tang San's shoulder gently, smiling very happily as if his mouth was covered with molasses. As for Tang San, he looked at Mu Chen proudly. Now, he also has the same external soul bone as Boss Mu. Is it still far away from catching up with Boss Mu? Xiao San, congratulations on becoming our Shrek Academy, well, the 3rd youngest soul master. Dai Mubai congratulated. Congratulations. 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 Dai Mubai, Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong, Oscar, Ma Hongjun and Zhao Wuji all congratulated Tang San. You congratulate him, don't you congratulate me? I am also a soul master now. Xiao Wu said with a smile. Congratulations, Xiao Wu, for becoming the 2nd youngest soul master in our Shrek Academy. Dai Mubai congratulated. Congratulations. 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 Dai Mubai, Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong, Oscar, Ma Hongjun, Tang San and Zhao Wuji all congratulated Xiao Wu. Thank you. Xiao Wu smiled. Immediately, everyone's eyes fell on Muken. Xiao Wu said, congratulations, brother. Boss Mu, congratulations on becoming the youngest soul sect in the history of Shrek Academy. Dai Mubai congratulated. You are a monster among monsters. Ning Rongrong said. Oscar, pinch me to see if I'm dreaming. Ma Hongjun said to Oscar beside him. The distance between me and him is getting farther and farther. Zhu Zhuqing said. Congratulations. 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 Tang San, Zhao Wuji, and Oscar all congratulated Mu Chen. Thank you. Mu Chen said with a smile. Hey, your boy's soul power has reached level 45. Zhao Wuji looked at Mu Chen in surprise. Sensing the soul power in Mu Chen's body, he discovered that Mu Chen's soul power was now level 45. Yes. Mu Chen nodded. What? 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 The Shrek 7 monsters looked at Mu Chen in shock with dull eyes. The latter had just broken through to level 40 not long ago and obtained a soul ring. It had only been 1 day, but his soul power had already reached level 45, 1 day. That was a short day. No, in less than a day, the soul power broke through the 5th level. Such a terrifying speed of cultivation improvement cannot be simply described as terrifying. Tang San, what are you thinking about? Are you and the rest of you thinking about changing again? As the vice president of Shrek Academy, Zhao Wuji felt very, very satisfied with Mu Chen's talent. No, Boss Mu is a monster among monsters. You can't compete with Boss Mu. Tang San concluded after being shocked. Tang San was now convinced of Mu Chen. Chapter 65 Crazy Ideas. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shrek Academy. After a period of travel, the Shrek 8 Devils and Zhao Wuji have safely returned to Shrek Academy. In the small square of Shrek Academy, the deans of Shrek Academy, Flanders, and Xiao Yan, have already welcomed the Shrek 8 Devils. Finally back. The human world is still comfortable. After a few days of travel, I smell all over my body. I'm going to take a bath. Zhu Qing, Xiao Wu, do you two want to join me? After the Shrek 8 Devils briefly greeted Flanders and Xiao Yan, the men wanted to go back to sleep, while the women wanted to take a bath. Stop. Mukun said lightly. The Shrek 7 Devils stood in place. I'll give you an hour to rest. After an hour, Oscar, you go to teacher Zhao Wuji to train your body. Ning Rongrong, come to my room, I'll be responsible for your training. Ma Hongjun, from now on, recite the Heart Sutra of Prajnaparamita 10 times a day. In addition, Zhu Qing, within 3 months, you must master the first 3 moves of the Wind God Leg proficiently. Mukun ordered. The first 3 moves of the Wind God Leg are Catching Shadows, Strong Grass in the Wind, and Torrential Wind. Boss Mu, come on, I just came back, won't you let me rest for a while? Zhu Qing was fine, and was able to accept Mukun's training. Ma Hongjun, who liked to be lazy, protested. After 3 months, I will take you to the Slaughter City. Tell me, do you want to seize the time to practice? Mukun asked. What? Slaughter City. Slaughter City. Among the Shrek 7 Devils, only Ning Rongrong was shocked. The others were puzzled. As for Flanders and Xiao Yan, they looked at Mukun in shock. In Douluo continent, there are 10 dangerous places where one is almost certain to die. The Slaughter City is the most dangerous place among the 10 dangerous places. Mu Chen, no. Flanders protested. Why not? Mu Chen asked back. The Slaughter City is the first of the 10 dangerous places. Once you enter the Slaughter City, you will not be able to come out alive unless you pass through the road to hell. Flanders frowned. Dean, don't you want each of them to become a god of killing? Mu Chen asked. Of course I do. Compared to obtaining the god of killing domain, I can't bear to watch them die in the Slaughter City. Flanders said. With me here, who says they will die? Mu Chen said lightly. Mu Chen, you may not know the situation in the Slaughter City. Although I have not been to the Slaughter City, I have heard that so far, there are more than 10,000 soul masters who have entered the Slaughter City. However, there are only 2 gods of killing who came out in the end. Flanders said. Don't worry, Dean, I am half their teacher, and they are half my disciples. I won't let them die in vain. The reason why I let them enter the killing city is naturally for a reason. Mu Chen said lightly. Rely. What is the reason? Flanders asked curiously. This. Mu Chen touched the ring soul guide, flicked his finger, and took out a yellow cylinder. What is this? Flanders asked curiously. Smoke bomb. Mu Chen said. Smoke bomb. Flanders repeated in confusion. Yes. A strange thing that can be thrown and produces smoke after being hit. Any enemy that touches the smoke will be in a short coma. Dean, do you want to try it? Mu Chen asked with a smile. Okay. Flanders did not refuse. Swoosh. Mu Chen waved his hand and threw the smoke bomb in his hand towards Flanders' feet. With a crisp sound, a cloud of smoke suddenly burst out, forming a cloud of green smoke. Flanders did not dodge. As soon as the smoke was produced, it was inhaled into his body. Flanders' eyes were dazed, and he kept shaking his head, trying to wake himself up. At the same time, he drove his soul power to drive away the smoke inhaled into his body. This process took 5 seconds before Flanders woke up from his coma. Thinking of what happened just now, Flanders' heart loosened. Although it was only a short 5 seconds, it was enough for a soul master to take the other party's life. With this thing, you can really give it a try. How is it? Mukin asked proudly. This is not enough. If I had been prepared just now and held my breath, I could completely avoid dizziness. Flanders said. Don't worry. In addition to these things, I have other things. With them, the monsters of Shrek Academy will be more like monsters. Mukin said. What is it? Flanders asked. If you can pass the road to hell, you can get the domain of the god of killing. At that time, the students of Shrek Academy will really be monsters. A hidden weapon. A weapon that can cause serious damage at close range. Its power does not decrease within 50 meters. It is made entirely of iron. Even for a soul king, it can threaten its life. Mukin said. A hidden weapon that can threaten a soul king? What's its name? Flander asked curiously. Could it be Zhuge's divine crossbow? Tang San thought so in his heart. Zhuge's divine crossbow. Mukin replied. Zhuge's crossbow. Can you show it to me? Flander asked. Not yet. I don't have it on me. Before entering the slaughter city, I will let each of them have at least 2 Zhuge's divine crossbows. Mukin glanced at Tang San. Mukin didn't have the Zhuge's divine crossbow, but Tang San did. This. Flanders was a little shaken. When Tang San entered Shrek Academy, he used a hidden weapon once. Flanders also saw the power of hidden weapons. It is said that soul skills and soul power cannot be used in the City of Slaughter. Then, hidden weapons in that place do have great lethality. It can make the Shrek 8 devils have a strong self-protection ability. In addition to the Zhuge divine crossbow, I also have a tight-back flower crossbow, bone-penetrating needles, bone-piercing needles, leg crossbows, flying claws and other hidden weapons. Mukin said again. So many. Flanders was surprised. The tight-back flower crossbow is controlled by the back muscles. Although there is only one shot. But because the crossbow arrow is large in size and the machine Huang has sufficient elasticity, the destructive power belongs to the extremely strong level among hidden weapons. The leg crossbow is a crossbow arrow hidden in the leg, the flying claw is extremely hard, enough to penetrate gold and stone. As for the bone-penetrating needle and bone-piercing needle, they can be used alone to attack the enemy by surprise. Mukin said again. Mu Chen, do you have any idea of opening a shop that specializes in selling hidden weapons? Flanders' eyes shone with brilliance, as if he saw piles of gold soul coins. Dean, I will equip them with all these hidden weapons within 3 months. Now, are you still going to stop me from taking them into the slaughter city? Mukin asked. How about taking me with you? Flanders said excitedly. Passing the road to hell can allow the martial soul to obtain the realm of the god of killing. Dean, you guys should do it next time. The Continental Elite Soul Master competition is very close. I don't have so much time to create so many hidden weapons. For safety reasons, everyone who enters the slaughter city must have sufficient ammunition. Well, that is, hidden weapons. Mukin said with a smile. Okay. I suddenly realized that inviting you to our academy is the most correct thing I have ever done. Flanders looked at Mukin with fiery eyes. Boss Mu, come here, I have something to ask you. On the other side, after Mukin mentioned so many Tang sect hidden weapons, Tang San suddenly interrupted. Chapter 66, Tricking Tang San. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Tang San and Mukin walked away, Flanders asked Yu Xiaojiang beside him, Xiao Gang, what do you think about this matter? The idea is very bold. Yu Xiaojiang replied. So, you object to him bringing people into the killing city? Flanders said. No, I think I can give it a try. I have also heard that in the killing city, you cannot use soul skills and soul power. You can only rely on martial arts and physical bodies to fight. I have also seen Xiao San's hidden weapons, and they are indeed very powerful. In a unique place like the killing city, with hidden weapons close to you, is like having a pass to hell, Yu Xiaojiang said. In fact, Flanders didn't know that after Yu Xiaojiang knew that Tang San had some hidden weapons, he had the idea of letting Tang San enter the killing city to gain experience. Today's Mu Chen has just brought this event forward. However, to be conservative, we need to consult that person's opinion. Yu Xiaojiang added. Yeah. Flanders nodded in agreement. Naturally, he knew that the person Yu Xiaojiang was talking about was Tang San's father, Tang Hao. Tang Hao is one of the two known killer gods in the world. They have been on the road to hell, and if Tang Hao agrees with Tang San's journey to hell, then why should Flanders and Yu Xiaojiang be worried? On the other side, following Tang San, Mu Chen kept walking towards the woods at the back of Shrek Academy. Xiao San, if you have anything to say, can you ask it here? Mu Chen stopped and said to Tang San, who was still walking ahead. Tang San turned around and stared at Mu Chen. Ask me, I'll go back and help Ning Rong beat her body later. Seeing that Tang San didn't speak, Mu Chen urged Tang San. Who are you? Tang San asked. I'm Mu Chen. Mu Chen replied. Who are you? Tang San asked again. Then who do you think I will be? Mu Chen asked. Boss Mu, how do you know so many hidden weapons? Tang San asked curiously. If I said that I saw it in an ancient book, would you believe it? Mu Chen asked with a smile. He already knew in his heart the purpose of Tang San calling him here. As for Tang Clan's hidden weapons, Mu Chen now only has sleeve arrows and dragon beard needles. Mu Chen did not have any drawings for the hidden weapons such as the Zhuge shooting crossbow, the tight-back flower-mounted crossbow, the bone-penetrating needle, the leg crossbow, and the flying divine claw that he promised to make. In other words, this task will naturally fall on Tang San. Mu Chen was still thinking about how to leave this hard work to Tang San and break through Tang San's disguise that covered himself. Unexpectedly, Mu Chen didn't expect that Tang San would take the initiative to find him. An idea emerged in Mukin's mind. I don't believe it. Tang San shook his head, paused, touched the 24-bridge Mingyue on his waist, took out 2 sleeve arrows from it, and said, the sleeve arrow in my left hand was successfully forged by myself. As for the sleeve arrow in your right hand was given to me by you in the Star Forest. I have studied it carefully and found that the inner structure of the 2 sleeve arrows is exactly the same. Boss Mu, who are you? Wait, what did you just say? Can you make sleeve arrows? Mu Chen knew that the moment of performance had come again. He looked very surprised but not exaggerated. The Film and Television Association definitely owes Mukin the trophy for Best Actor. Yes. Tang San nodded. Impossible. Mu Chen turned his face sideways and squinted at Tang San. The expression is quite spot on. How is it impossible? By coincidence, I also saw the related production of Shoujian in that ancient book. Tang San raised the corner of his mouth slightly and said a set of lines that Mu Chen had just said. Who are you? At this time, Mu Chen continued to ask in a dramatic manner. I am Tang San. Tang San replied. Okay. How about this, let's write the name of that ancient book on our hands to see if it's the same ancient book. How about that? Mu Chen suggested. Okay. Tang San responded without hesitation. Mu Chen knew so many hidden weapons of the Tang clan, and Tang San was also very curious about Mu Chen's true identity. In Tang San's opinion, Mu Chen's true identity should also be a disciple of the Tang sect. Tang San was a member of the Tang clan in life, and a ghost of the Tang clan in death. Regarding Tang clan, Tang San had an emotional bond in his heart that ordinary people could not understand. After a while, Tang San and Mukin took out their pens and wrote on their hands. How about I call 1, 2, 3, and we extend our hands at the same time? Mu Chen suggested. Okay. Tang San nodded slightly. 1, 2, 3. As soon as the 3 words were spoken, Mu Chen and Tang San extended their hands behind their backs. On the palms of both of them, the same 4 words were written, Xiantian records the Tang sect's highest secrets and martial arts secrets. There are only 6 types of martial arts recorded in the Xiantian, which are internal skills, mind skills, Xiantian skills, hand training techniques, Xian Yusho, and eye training techniques, ZG. The magic pupil, the method of capturing the crane and capturing the dragon, the method of making light bodies by ghosting and disappearing, and the method of using hidden weapons. There are hundreds of ways to use hidden weapons. Are you a disciple of the Tang sect? Are you a disciple of the Tang sect? The same words popped out of Mu Chen and Tang San's mouths at the same time. Both sides had their eyes wide open and looked at each other in shock. Could it be Tang San? After the shock, Mu Chen quickly got to the point. Yes. Tang San responded. I mean, are you the Tang San from my Tang sect who fell into the abyss of ghosts and sorrows? Mu Chen asked. Yes. But who are you? Tang San frowned and looked at Mu Chen curiously. Mu Chen not only knew Xiantian Baolu, but also accurately said the name of the abyss he fell into. Tang San was convinced of Mu Chen's identity as a disciple of Tang's sect. However, Tang San was very curious, who was Mu Chen in his previous life? You can obtain and practice Xiantian Baolu with my permission. Who do you say I am? Mu Chen asked. You are Grandpa Tang Lan. Tang San said with shock, soul power plus 10,000 points. Due to Tang San's inner shock, Mu Chen suddenly gained 10,000 points of soul power. Mu Chen nodded slightly, not to mention how proud he was in his heart. Grandpa Tang Lan, how did you come to this world? Did you also fall into that abyss? Tang San asked doubtfully. Mu Chen nodded again. No, you are the old man of Tang sect, the most powerful person in Tang sect. How could you fall into the abyss? Tang San asked doubtfully. Speaking of this matter, it's all because of you. Mu Chen turned around, facing away from Tang San, and smiled secretly. He still didn't believe it. With his eloquent tongue, he couldn't fool Tang San. It's because of me? Tang San was surprised. After you fell off the cliff, I mobilized all the disciples of the Tang sect, and the whole sect was looking for you. I wanted to see you alive or dead. Unexpectedly, an ancient relic appeared under the ghost sea's sorrow. I fought with it for 3 days and 3 nights. In the end, although I was lucky enough to kill it, I also suffered a great loss of power, and was dragged into the abyss by it struggling to death. When I woke up, I was reborn with my memory in this strange world with martial arts. Mu Chen was like telling a story, talking about something that never happened. You died because of me? Tang San looked surprised, then he said cautiously, if you want me to believe that you are the reincarnation of Old Master Tang Lan, you have to tell me something that only Old Master Tang Lan and I know. What else do you want me to say? Mu Chen said. Tell me, how did I get the Xiantian treasure record? Tang San asked. Chapter 67 Tang San is played badly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It was a thunderstorm night. Everyone knows that the first 2 floors of the Tangmen Sutra Pavilion are heavily guarded. But they don't know that the 3rd floor, where the core is, has been guarded by me, an old man, for more than 10 years. Tang San, himself. There is no need to mention this glorious scene. Let the past matter pass. Without my permission and consent, you would not be able to obtain the Xiantian treasure record. Mu Chen stared at Tang San and said seriously, a dishonorable scene. What was the disgraceful scene in Tang San's previous life? That was of course the scene where Tang San sneaked into the scripture depository pavilion late at night and stole Xiantian Baolu. Of course, Tang San got his wish and entered the 3rd floor of the scripture depository pavilion on that thunderstorm night. But he met Mr. Tang Lan. At that time, Tang San, after being discovered by the old man Tang Lan, heard that the old man Tang Lan said that he, Tang San, would be expelled from the school. Tang San was very anxious at that time. Tang San has been taken in by the Tang clan since he was an infant. In Tang San's heart, he considered himself a member of the Tang sect. Life is a Tang clan person, death is a Tang clan ghost. Hearing that he was going to be expelled from the school, he wanted to bring glory to the Tang sect, and he was determined to die. He took out the dagger and wanted to kill himself. In the end, Mrs. Tang Lan opened her eyes and did not stick to the rules. He threw the hidden weapon in time and knocked away the dagger in Tang Men's hand, saving Tang San's life at that time. Finally, Mr. Tang Lan personally handed the Xiantian Baolu to Tang San. At the moment, Mu Chen's time and place are right. The remaining trace of caution in Tang San's heart was destroyed by the disgraceful things he had done. Tang San knelt down to Mu Chen, kneeling on both knees, and said, Tang San, a disciple of the Tang sect, pays homage to Mr. Tang Lan. Mu Chen smiled slightly, not to mention how proud he was inside. With his sharp tongue, he finally deceived Tang San. However, this is just the beginning. Tang San, don't be too polite. I am not old Mrs. Tang Lan now. In the future, please remember, don't call me old Mrs. Tang Lan, just call me Boss Mu. Mu Chen stepped forward and called Tang San. He was helped up. Yes, Boss Mu. Tang San accepted the order. Tang San, as a disciple of the Tang sect, I want to test you carefully. Please memorize the contents of the Xiantian Bao record for me. Mu Chen turned around with his back to Tang San. He kept snickering, and added, to save time, you only need to memorize the formulas of Xiantian Kung, Xian Yu Hand, Purple Demon Eyes, Control the Crane and Capture the Dragon, and Confuse the Ghost Shadow. So many? Tang San asked in astonishment. Why, don't you want to? Mu Chen tilted his head and squinted at Tang San behind him, and said, you clearly have the Xiantian treasure record, but now you are as old as me. But your soul power level is only level 30. With me the difference is not a small difference. I doubt that your brain was damaged because of the incompleteness of your memorized skills, which caused your soul power to be only level 30. Faced with Mu Chen's words, Tang San didn't hesitate any longer. Compared with Mu Chen, he is indeed much inferior. In fact, Tang San's own talent was not much better than Dai Mubai and others. The reason why his cultivation has improved so quickly is entirely because of the Tang sect's unique skills. At that moment, Tang San followed Mu Chen's instructions, in addition to the secret weapon usage methods and the 100 solutions to hidden weapons in the Xiantian Baolu. He also memorized the formulas of Xiantian Kung, Xian Jade Hand, Purple Demon Eyes, Controlling Cranes and Capturing Dragons, and Ghost Shadow. Ding dong! Congratulations, you have obtained the inner skill, Xiantian skill. Ding dong! Congratulations, you have obtained the method of practicing hand, Xuanyu Hand. Ding dong! Congratulations, you have obtained the eye training method, Purple Demon Eyes. Ding dong! Congratulations, you have obtained the method of capture, Control the Crane and Capture the Dragon. Ding dong! Congratulations, you have obtained the method of lightening yourself, ghosting. Ha ha ha, I have obtained the Tang sect's 5 unique skills all at once. Mu Chen was overjoyed and deceived Tang San, and finally obtained the 5 Tang sect secret arts from Xiantian Baolu. Is this how things end? It's obviously no. Mu Chen turned around to face Tang San and asked, all the techniques are accurate. But why is your cultivation level so low? Xiao San, you have to work hard. Tang San cupped his fists and nodded, yes, Mr. Tang Lan. No, Boss Mu. Mu Chen then said, Xiao San, we still have 3 months before we enter the killing city. Now that you and I have recognized each other, the task of making those hidden weapons will be left to you. You can take one of these days. Let's take a trip to Soto City. Tang San raised his brows and asked with a startled look, me? Mu Chen asked, is it a money problem? Mu Chen touched the ring soul guide with his finger, flicked his finger, and took out 100,000 gold soul coins from it. Asked, "Is there any problem now?" "No, no problem." Tang San raised his brows, feeling extremely regretful. "This is simply digging a hole for yourself to jump into. Let's go, we should go back." Mukin walked towards the small square of Shrek Academy. The matter of the hidden weapon was successfully resolved. "Boss Mu, for my teacher Xiao, is it true that he will never be able to break through level 30 in this life?" Tang San followed up and put 100,000 gold soul coins into the 24 bridges on a bright moonlit night. Thinking of Xiao, Tang San asked curiously. In Tang San's opinion, Mu Chen is the reincarnation of Mr. Tang Lan. Mr. Tang Lan is well informed and may have a way to help Xiao break through level 30. Yes. Mu Chen said. What method? Tang San asked curiously. Forget it, let's not talk about the master behind his back. Mukin obviously didn't want to tell Tang San the answer, he had a mission about Xiao. Teacher, why have I never seen the martial arts you taught Ning Rongrong and Oscar in Tang's sect? Tang San saw that Mukin didn't want to talk about Xiao, and asked curiously about Baji Collapse, Xian-level fighting skills blowing fire palm, and wind god leg. When I was young, I once trained in the Central Plains. I defeated many masters from various sects, and because of my photographic memory, I also obtained many martial arts from various sections. Mukin continued to fool Tang San, and suddenly stopped and said, Xiao San, do you want to learn those martial arts? Yes. Tang San nodded, whether it is Baji Collapse or Wind God Leg, they are all mysterious. That won't work. It's not that I won't teach you, but now that you have become Master's disciple, you need Master's consent. Mukin was delighted. He could finally complete another task, a task related to training the Shrek 7 devils. Boss Mu, you are right. You really need to ask my teacher. Tang San nodded. After a while, Mukin and Tang San returned. Tang San had just arrived at the small square of Shrek Academy, and immediately said to Xiao anxiously, Teacher, from today on, I will also accept Boss Mu's training. Do you think it's okay? That Xiao glanced at Mukin, and he was convinced by the latter. Yes, the teacher is not a pedantic person. Mu Chen is indeed outstanding and qualified to teach you. Tang San heard it and said happily, Thank you, teacher. Boss Mu, from today on, I am willing to accept your training. No matter what kind of training you arrange for me, I will have no complaints. Ding dong. Congratulations, 7 of the Shrek 7 devils are willing to accept your teachings. Reward skill points, 7 points. Reward soul power, 54,000 points. Ding dong. Congratulations, all the Shrek 7 devils are willing to accept your teachings and have completed the task perfectly. The system rewards an additional item, a 10-fold multiplication card. Chapter 68 The Youngest Soul King in History. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Name, Mukin, age, 12 years old, level, 45, 109000/190000, martial soul, chaos sword, soul rings, purple, black, soul skills, melody of the awakening earth, roar of flames, sigh of the ice and snow goddess, wrath of thunder, skill points, 38 points, magical powers, 3 Magatama Sharingan, self-created soul skills, 8 extreme collapse, secondary dark power, 1000 years of killing, blowing fire palm, introduction, sucking palm, introduction, wind god leg, first style. Catching shadows, sky frost fist, fire style great fireball technique items, 9 detonating talismans, sleeve arrows, 1, iron lotus, 10, smoke bombs, 199, 9 inner pills that can obtain soul rings with a life of 30,000 years, mysterious jade hand, mysterious heavenly skill, controlling cranes and capturing dragons, purple extreme demon eyes, ghost shadow trace, 10 times multiplication card, soul bone, external soul bone, 8 spider lance, money, 201,000 gold soul coins. Skill points have reached 38 points. Mu Chen was overjoyed and said politely to Tang San, I need to think about your training and I will give you an answer when I think of it. Tang San said happily, thank you, Boss Mu. By the way, teacher, Boss Mu just said that there is a way to help you break through to level 30, that Yu Xiaojiang was stunned when he heard it, and looked at Mukin in astonishment, saying, really? Mu Chen nodded. Yu Xiaojiang grabbed Mukin's arm excitedly and asked, what is the way? Mu Chen raised his eyebrows slightly, you hurt me. Yu Xiaojiang was startled, and then realized his loss of composure and let go of Mukin. Seeing that Mukin didn't speak, Flanders also asked anxiously, Mukin, what can you do to help Xiaojiang break through to level 30? As a good friend of Yu Xiaojiang, Flanders knew how much suffering Yu Xiaojiang had suffered because of his martial spirit. As a good friend, Flanders has also found many ways, but none of them can help Yu Xiaojiang break through the shackles of level 30. Yu Xiaojiang was expelled from the family because of the malignant mutation of his martial soul and could not break through level 30 in his lifetime. Because of his strange martial soul and the 3 strange soul skills possessed by his martial soul, Yu Xiaojiang suffered countless sarcasms. Now, hearing that there is a way to help Yu Xiaojiang break through level 30, how can Flanders and Yu Xiaojiang not be excited? Mu Chen replied, as far as I know, there is a kind of fairy grass in the world that can help him break through level 30. Fairy grass. Flanders frowned and glanced at Yu Xiaojiang. Yu Xiaojiang's expression also frowned. Fairy grass is a rare thing, which is very difficult to find. But hope is always better than despair, so he asked, what kind of magic grass is it? Mu Chen replied, 9th grade Ganoderma lucidum. 9th grade Ganoderma lucidum. 9th grade Ganoderma lucidum. Flender and Yu Xiaojiang frowned slightly, looking solemn. In their impression, no force or family has such a rare thing as 9th grade Ganoderma lucidum. Yes, 9th grade Ganoderma lucidum. Mukin said, in the original storyline, Yu Xiaojiang broke his shackles and broke through to level 31 because he swallowed a 9th grade Ganoderma lucidum from the poison Douluo medicine garden. In my impression, no force has 9th grade Ganoderma lucidum. Flender frowned. If not, there is only another way. Mukin said immediately. What is the way? Flender asked. Accept my teachings. Mukin said. What? What? Yu Xiaojiang and Flender looked at Mukin in surprise. If it was just an ordinary person, it would be fine. But the person who needed to be taught was Master Yu Xiaojiang, a martial arts expert who proposed the theory of the 10 core competitions of martial arts. He actually had to accept the teachings of a 12-year-old child. Let's not talk about whether Yu Xiaojiang, who was full of pride in his heart, would be willing to accept Mukin's teachings. If this matter was known by others, it would definitely become another joke for Yu Xiaojiang. Okay, I accept your teachings. In Flanders' astonishment, Yu Xiaojiang actually agreed to Mukin. This, however, Mukin was pondering, hesitation. That's right, Mukin was hesitating. Even if he accepted Yu Xiaojiang, a martial arts expert, as his teacher, Mukin was still hesitating. Flanders, Yu Xiaojiang, especially Yu Xiaojiang, thinking that he was a martial arts expert, accepting Mukin's teachings, but Mukin was still hesitating. Yu Xiaojiang felt very uncomfortable in his heart. Soul power plus 6666. Due to the mood changes of Yu Xiaojiang and Flanders, Mukin gained 6,666 points of emotion at once. Soul power increased by 6666 points. Flanders glanced at Yu Xiaojiang and said, Mukin, we have an agreement. Even if I am the dean of Shrek Academy, I have no right to order you to do anything. It's just that as Xiaojiang's brother, I really hope you can help Xiaojiang. Mukin looked at Flanders and then at Yu Xiaojiang. He has already pretended to be powerful and has gained soul power. It's time to complete another task. He nodded and said, okay. Ding dong. Congratulations, you have completed the B-level hidden task. Yu Xiaojiang is willing to accept your training. Reward soul power, 150,000 points, reward skill points, 10 points, reward items, 50,000 year soul ring, reward items, 10,000 detonating talismans, reward combat skills, Paiyun Palm. Paiyun Palm, this is the palm technique used by Bujingyun in Wind and Cloud. It means clouds are impermanent. The moves are erratic, elusive, and extremely powerful. There are 12 moves in total. Ding dong. The system detects that the host has a tenfold card. Whether to use the tenfold card will increase the rewards obtained in this mission 10 times. Use. Mu Chen said without any worries. The mission completed now is a B-level mission that is not low in level. Ding dong. Congratulations, you used the 10x multiplier card, and finally obtained soul power, 1.5 million points, finally obtained skill points, 100 points, finally obtained items, 100,000 detonating symbols, and finally obtained soul rings, 10 50,000-year-old souls. Huan, obtain the combat skill, Cloud Dispelling Palm. 100,000 detonating talismans, if you go to the killing city, you will definitely be in cheating mode. Mu Chen was overjoyed. Ding dong. Congratulations, you have upgraded your soul power to 5 levels in a row. Current level, level 50, 750/250750. Upgraded to 5 levels in a row. It's great. Brother, I am now a soul king. The corners of Mu Chen's mouth seemed to be covered with molasses. Mu Chen, please teach me how to break through level 30. Yu Xiaojiang made Mu Chen giggle and couldn't help but ask curiously. It's simple, just eat. Mu Chen replied. Eat? Yu Xiaojiang frowned and looked at Mu Chen questioningly. Mu Chen secretly asked, what kind of training method is this? Yes. I heard from Xiao San that your martial spirit is very special. It can exist alone in a physical form without the body. It looks like a cute spirit beast. If you want to break through level 30, give it a try. Your martial soul should eat something, Mu Chen instructed. Give Sanpao something to eat. Yu Xiaojiang frowned, with a flash of light in his eyes. Damn it, you've never given it food, have you? Mu Chen asked. Except for radish, I haven't given it anything else to eat. Yu Xiaojiang responded. I'll go, I'm really defeated by you. Hurry up and give it something to eat. Mu Chen said. Will this allow Xiaojiang to break through level 30? Flanders asked doubtfully. Yes. The food given to Sanpao cannot be ordinary things, it must be things containing soul power. For example, some herbs, or the flesh and blood of some soul beasts. Since you can't break through level 30, you can only rely on Sanpao's help will help you break through level 30, Mu Chen said. Knowing everything about Douluo, Mu Chen knew that once Yu Xiaojiang's Wuhuan Luo Sanpao was injured, the injury would also affect Yu Xiaojiang's body. If Luo Sanpao had practiced self-cultivation, like the dark demon evil god tiger, he would have gained soul power by devouring soul beasts. Then Yu Xiaojiang will also gain soul power at the same time. In this case, it is completely feasible for Yu Xiaojiang to break through level 30. Chapter 69, Eliminating Harm for the People. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. A month later, under Mukin's instruction, the Shrek 7 devils each underwent a different transformation. Especially Ning Rongrong and Oscar, who had already mastered the 8 extreme collapse. At night, in the back mountain in front of Shrek Academy, the sound of 2 figures moving at high speed broke the silence of the night. The 2 figures, a man and a woman, fought back and forth, enjoying themselves. Wind God Leg, the woman swung her foot towards the man. The man did not dodge, but swung his foot towards him. The moves he used were exactly the same as the woman's. Wind God Leg, bang, the 2 feet hit each other, and the force generated forced both parties to retreat 3 steps. Very good, after a month of practice, you have mastered the second style of the Wind God Leg, the strong grass in the wind. Mukin praised. All this is because of your guidance. Zhu Zhuqing said gratefully. But don't be proud. We need to go to the city of slaughter. In the next 2 months, you must practice harder and strive to master the third style of the Wind God Leg when you enter the city of slaughter. Mukin said again. Won't you practice with me in the next few days? When Zhu Zhuqing heard that Mukin would no longer practice with her, the look in her eyes became a little disappointed. You can dodge my millennium kill and still have the ability to fight back against me. You are ready to become a master. I'm waiting for the day when you can defeat me. Mukin said. Yeah. Zhu Zhuqin nodded. There was a faint regret in her heart. It seemed that she regretted that she was progressing too fast and could no longer enjoy Mukin's sparring. For some reason, when she thought of the 3 words millennium kill, Zhu Zhuqin touched her buttocks with both hands, and there was a faint sense of loss in her heart. Mukin didn't know that since he used the millennium kill on Zhu Zhuqin a month ago. Every time she returned to her soul dream, Zhu Zhuqin would dream of Mukin and call Mukin's name in her dream. Zhu Zhuqin, who was cold and aloof, had not yet realized that her heart was already branded with the image of Mukin. Ding dong. Congratulations, you have obtained the mission, to teach Douluo, who has brought disaster to one side, a lesson, so that he can no longer bring disaster to women. Doupo Chen's eyes flashed, and he suddenly stopped, staring at a dark corner, and said, Who? Come out. 4 figures walked out of that corner. When the figures walked in front of Mukin and Zhu Zhuqin, they were Ma Hongjun, Oscar, Dai Mubai and Tang San. Ma Hongjun's face looked black at first glance, but after a closer look, it was found that he was beaten up. What's wrong? Mukin asked. Boss Mu, the fat man was beaten by a bastard. Tang San replied. By a bastard? Who? Mukin was thinking. At that moment, Tang San simply explained the course of events. It turned out that Ma Hongjun had taken a fancy to the lady who was in charge of registration at the Soto City Great Fighting Spirit Arena. So, Ma Hongjun waited until the young lady got off work. On the way, Ma Hongjun wanted to confess to the young lady, but was rejected. Ma Hongjun certainly didn't give up. So he followed the young lady all the way and offered to send her home, but was still rejected. Ma Hongjun, who didn't give up, wanted to continue to send her home but was rejected. As a result, he met a wretched uncle on the way. The uncle followed Ma Hongjun and wanted to kill the young lady. Ma Hongjun asked himself that he was romantic and had a sense of justice. So, he helped and attacked the wretched uncle. Unfortunately, Ma Hongjun's soul power has greatly improved under Mukin's training, but his combat ability is very average. He was beaten black and blue by the 4-ring soul master, and stepped on his face hard. So, you want to stand up for the fat man? Mukin asked. Yes. As Fatty's brothers, how can we watch Fatty being bullied? Moreover, he is a notorious villain in this area. Once he hooks up with a decent woman and takes her virginity, he immediately abandons her. Ordinary people are no match for soul masters. For such a villain, he is simply a scum in the soul master world. Shouldn't he be taught a lesson? Dai Mubai asked. You misunderstood. I don't mean to stop you. Mukin said. So, Boss Mu, do you agree that we should go to avenge Fatty? Dai Mubai said. As a soul master, it is shameful to do evil. Even if you don't avenge Fatty, you should eliminate this scourge for the people. Mukin said. Boss Mu, why don't you go with us? Oscar pleaded. Mu Chen was a little surprised, and then he said, okay. After all, Fatty is half my student. Zhu Qing, do you want to go with me? Don't you also hope that I can go? Zhu Zhuqing asked back. Hee, Xiao Wu is asleep, Rong should also sleep now. Mukin smiled awkwardly. Boss Mu, you don't want to use Zhu Qing as bait, do you? Dai Mubai asked thoughtfully. Nonsense, otherwise, if we are a few men, will the gangster named Douluo come out? Mukin asked back. After an hour of rushing, Mukin, Dai Mubai, Zhu Zhuqing and others came to the place where Ma Hongjun was beaten. It's here. Ma Hongjun said. Yeah. Mukin nodded, looked at Zhu Zhuqing, and said with concern, be careful. Don't let yourself suffer, otherwise I will be unhappy. Zhu Zhuqing was stunned at first, but then she felt warm in her heart. She nodded slightly and walked towards the brightly lit street in front. When she passed a store, she entered it. When Zhu Zhuqin came out, Dai Mubai regretted it. He regretted breaking off the engagement with Zhu Zhuqin peacefully. Although Zhu Zhuqin was still young, her body was well developed. Zhu Zhuqin came out of the store wearing a sexy low-cut off-shoulder long dress evening gown. She was beautiful and aristocratic. People felt that she was a noble lady. Zhu Zhuqin took a charming cat step, and her hips and chest were swaying charmingly. She was afraid that she would not attract a pervert, and she was humming a little song, whoosh. When Zhu Zhuqin was crossing an empty street, a figure jumped down from a building on the side and landed in front of Zhu Zhuqin. The figure wore a cowboy hat and a barbed jacket, looked thief-like, and stared at Zhu Zhuqin with fiery eyes. It was the villain Bulu described by Ma Hongjun. "Beauty, where are you going?" Bulu stretched out his hand, trying to touch Zhu Zhuqin's face. Bang! Zhu Zhuqin took action, without any ambiguity, and kicked Buli's crotch fiercely. Ah! Buli's facial features twisted in pain, holding his crotch, squatting on the ground. He murmured, it hurts so much. Is this the end? The answer is obviously no. Then, Zhu Zhuqin moved at a very fast speed, raised her foot, and greeted Bulu. Poor Bulu, his speed could not keep up with Zhu Zhuqin at all. Even if he wanted to resist, he was still beaten without any room to fight back. "Boss Mu, I have an idea for such a bad guy," Tang San suddenly said. "What is it?" Dai Mubai asked anxiously. At that moment, Tang San said his method. "No. It's not enough to just castrate him and tie him up for public display. Once the enemy is identified, he should be retaliated with thunder." "Tang San, have you forgotten this?" Mu Chen scolded. "Ah." Tang San thought to himself, this is what is in the Xiantian treasure record. After a pause, he asked curiously, "What do you think, Boss Mu?" "Kill him." Mu Chen thought, took out a dagger from the Ring Soul Guide, and handed it to Ma Hongjun. "Kill him?" Tang San was stunned. "No need for this is risking your life." Ma Hongjun also resisted. He just wanted revenge and taught the other party a lesson, but he didn't think about killing the other party. "You are all about to enter the city of slaughter. With your character, I really need to reconsider whether I should bring you into the city of slaughter." Bulu now remembers Zhu Qing's appearance. No matter what we do, if he wants revenge, he will kill Zhu Qing. Remember, being kind to the enemy is being cruel to yourself and your friends. To kill or not to kill, fatty, it's up to you. Mu Chen said. Chapter 70 Obtaining the Silver Fighting Spirit Badge. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding dong. Congratulations, you have completed the task and made Bulu no longer a scourge to women. Reward soul power, 40,000 points. Days passed one after another, and in the blink of an eye, another month had passed. In the past, Mukin had always let the Shrek 7 devils practice alone. It was rare for 7 people to gather in the small square of Shrek Academy. Did Boss Mu have any special instructions? I think so. There is still a month before we enter the Killing City. It is a dangerous place, and I don't want to waste a minute now. Xiao Wu, you are the one who always stays with Boss Mu. Do you know why Boss Mu gathered us this time? Dai Mubai asked. I don't know. Today's gathering was decided by me at the last minute. Xiao Wu replied, while the Shrek 7 devils were guessing, Mukin and Dean Flanders had already come to the flagpole in the center of the small square. Are you curious about why I asked you to gather? Mukin asked. Yi Xiaojiang had followed Mukin's instructions and went to the Soul Beast Forest where the royal family kept animals to find food for Luo Sanpao. So he did not appear in the small square today. Originally, he had doubts and wanted to try to see if Mukin was right. Flanders and Yu Xiaojiang specially caught a 100-year-old soul beast and ordered Luo Sanpao to eat it. The result surprised Yu Xiaojiang very much. The shackles that he had been unable to break for a long time actually showed signs of loosening, so, Yu Xiaojiang decided to go out for training. In Yu Xiaojiang's words, he would never come back unless he took off the hat of waste. Yu Xiaojiang no longer relied on Tang San to prove his own value. He wanted to rely on himself to realize the value of his existence. In the square, facing Mutnovel's words, the Shrek 7 devils looked at Mutnovel curiously. Mutnovel continued, after 2 months of training, your bodies have laid a very good foundation, but this is far from enough to pass the road to hell. Therefore, starting from today, you will carry out the last stage of training. You are all very clear about the rules of the Soto City Great Fighting Soul Arena. That will be the next training venue. 1 month. I can only give you 1 month. Within 1 month, if you want to enter the Slaughter City with me, you must get the Bronze Fighting Soul Badge. Hearing Mutnovel's words, the Shrek 7 devils were secretly stunned and said, no way, 1 month. That above the Iron Fighting Soul Badge is the Bronze Fighting Soul Badge. Tang San fell into deep thought and said, you can upgrade from the Iron Soul Badge to the Bronze Soul Badge only after you have accumulated 100 points. If you win 5 games in a row, you can get 10 points in the next game. There are 30 days in a month, and it is obviously not enough to rely on 5 consecutive wins to accumulate points. That is to say, we cannot lose any game in the next month. Rely on 10 consecutive wins to make the points of the 11th game become 100 points. Apart from this, we have no other way to get the Bronze Soul Badge in just 1 month. Yao Chen looked at Tang San and said, Tang San is right. That is the only way for you to get the Bronze Soul Badge in a month. Not only Tang San, but even Oscar, a food-type soul master, and Ning Rongrong, a support-type soul master, need to pass a one-on-one game to get the Bronze Soul Badge. Moreover, they are not allowed to use hidden weapons. Me? Ning Rongrong and Oscar looked at Mutnovel in surprise. They are both food-type and support-type soul masters. If they were in a one-on-one game, they would become the other party's sandbags. Mutnovel nodded and asked, any questions? Ning Rongrong and Oscar looked at each other, and after feeling surprised, their eyes were full of confidence. They said in unison. No problem. Of course no problem, I'm not a vase now. My fists are thirsty. Facing Mutnovel's training plan, Ning Rongrong and Oscar did not protest, but showed a surging fighting spirit in their eyes. Mutnovel waved his hand and said, okay, since there is no objection. Let's go to the Soto City Fighting Spirit Arena. Dean, call the teachers, bring money, and follow me. Flanders looked stunned, and after a little thought, he understood what Mutnovel meant. With a gleam in his eyes, he said, do you want to bet on them and make a fortune? Mutnovel nodded and said, yes. Such a good opportunity to make money is very rare. Hearing this, the Shrek 7 devils were dumbfounded. It turned out that their boss Mu actually sold them out and wanted to take advantage of this to make a fortune. When Flanders heard this, he looked at Mutnovel with fiery eyes and said, Mutnovel, I suddenly realized that inviting you to my academy was the wisest thing I have ever done. When the Shrek 7 devils came to the Great Soul Fighting Arena in Soto City, the Shrek 7 devils went to sign up for their personal game matches. As for Mutnovel and the teachers of Shrek Academy, they went to the betting counter. No matter which monster of the Shrek 7 devils was in the game, Mutnovel and the teachers of Shrek Academy all bet on the Shrek 7 devils to win. There is no need to say more about Oscar and Ning Rongrong. After 2 months of physical training, relying on the 8 extreme collapse, they easily defeated their opponents. Occasionally, they would encounter some difficult control-type soul masters. With their own assistance, they still exhausted the opponent. As for Zhu Zhuqing, he is worthy of being a monster of Shrek Academy. The Wind God leg taught to him by Mutnovel has been practiced to the 3rd style in just 2 months. Zhu Zhuqing relied on the Wind God leg, and didn't even use her martial soul. She completely relied on speed to crush and abuse her opponent. In just 22 days after entering the Great Fighting Soul Arena, she got the Bronze Fighting Soul Badge for the individual competition. Dai Mubai learned Bujinyan's Paiyun Palm from Mutnovel. Dai Mubai was also very diligent. In 2 months of training, he practiced the Paiyun Palm to the 2nd style. Without using the martial soul, he easily defeated his opponent with the Paiyun Palm. Xiao Wu was not idle in the past 2 months. Every day, she would have Mutnovel's personal sparring partner, and her combat experience was very rich. In addition, Mukun taught her the magical skills of picking up girls, blowing fire palm and sucking palm. She was able to get close to the opponent easily, and defeated the opponent with her waist bow. As for Ma Hongjun, he also obtained a skill of Mukun, fire escape, great fireball technique. In addition to the terrifying flames of the evil fire phoenix, he also easily obtained the silver fighting soul badge. There is no need to say more about Tang San. He is a complete cheat. Even if he didn't use the blue silver grass and clear sky hammer, he still had the purple demon eye, mysterious jade hand, and ghost shadow. After Oscar, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, Dai Mubai, Xiao Wu, and Ma Hongjun, he was the 7th person to obtain the silver fighting soul badge of the Great Fighting Soul Arena. He was qualified to enter the Slaughter City.